So, in the beginning, as the book of Genesis states, God created. Right? God created the sun and the moon, all the stars, our own planet, Earth, all the animals and all the things living in it and growing in it. And God created man. Male and female, he created man. In our absorption in daily life, I don't think we take enough time to really fathom that and to ponder it and what that says about the God we worship and what it means about who we are as human persons formed in his image and likeness. Today's first reading is actually very appropriate because it has this image of God as the potter and that we are the clay. In other words, we're made for a purpose. You know, he just doesn't randomly make something. It has a purpose to it. And that purpose is reflected in the mind of the creator, of the great artist. The sciences simply explore the question of how we were made, but the great artist, the great architect, holds the key to why we were made. All right, and it's so important to get our metaphysics and our anthropology right, because answering the question of our origins and who we were made to be, that determines our entire worldview. It determines everything. Right? It's the difference between, on one hand, knowing who we are and what we're to be about, and on the other hand, actually not knowing or being completely lost, and in the purpose of, with a sense of the purpose of the world's existence and our own existence, the purpose of our own existence. And that's when we get susceptible to a sense of meaninglessness and hopelessness. And having no meaning or hope, being incapable to get in touch with the purpose of our existence, that's what leads us to despair. Right? And if someone doesn't take their life, then the prevailing approach is what? Like to life is like to minimize the pain that I'm feeling and maximize the pleasure so as to distract myself from that pain, that suffering, or that existential suffering. After all, what else is there to live for? Right? So what we want to do is rediscover the grandeur of the creation that God has made and our own noble purpose in it. Because have you ever pondered the question, why is there something rather than nothing? Why is there something rather than nothing? Right, we just celebrated last Sunday the solemnity of our Lord Jesus Christ, King of the universe. Right, in other words, that title of Christ the King, the God-man reigns over all creation, not just reigns over the church, not just reigns over among Christians. And his reign is not just at the end of time, but the Lord reigns over all of reality, all of creation, through all space and time. As the scriptures say of the Son of God, even before he took on our human flesh, he is the image of the invisible God. By him all things were created, in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible. All things were created through him and for him. And he is before all things. And in him all things hold together. Right? If we're looking for the purpose and meaning of all creation, we look to him.